Hello, my lovelies, and welcome to the Heartland Hot Dish podcast. This is where we come to the table and rediscover the connection and meaning to our food and culinary treasures of the Great Lakes region. Join us as we discover the traditions and stories woven into the fabric of the Heartland cuisine, from the iconic dishes that define the Midwest to the hidden gems waiting to be discovered. We'll take you on a mouth-watering journey through the diverse culinary landscape of the Great Lakes area. Get ready to indulge your senses and ignite your appetite as we explore the rich tapestry of flavors that make up the Heartland Hot Dish. All right, my lovelies, we're going to be talking about tailgating. Yep, you got a Brit talking about American football, and I got to call it American football because you do not really use your feet that much in that game. But I wanted to talk about the tailgate experience. I've never really shared it with back home folks, but my first introduction in Michigan was my wife's family. They tailgate the Lions game every single year. It's how I met them before we got married. Quite the way to meet somebody, drunk in Eastern Market, waiting to go into a Lions game that they were guaranteed to lose because we went for many years. This year will be different, but for many years they would lose. And the American culture shock I kind of got from that first wave, wow. It is not a college game tailgate. This is an NFL Thanksgiving tailgate experience. So I know it's tailgating, but I guess I'm really talking about that Thanksgiving tailgate piece. Daniel, you said you've never been tailgating?
I've never been tailgating, ever. I don't really understand it.
I barely understand it, and I've gone every year for quite a lot of years.
Yeah, and I'm really dying to hear because you said that you also just went to your first game at the Big House. Did you tailgate there too?
Yes, I did, sir.
Right. So then I think it's going to be really interesting to hear sort of the difference between the NFL version of tailgating and the collegiate. Version.
Collegiate, way better. I got it.
Hell.
Hell yeah.
Less depressing?
Yes. Well, so I lived on Potter, which is opposite the stadium of where it is. And I got the opportunity to see the tailgates before I would go to the Roadhouse. But for years, I never went to it because it was always a busy day at the Roadhouse, and I would spend the day at the Roadhouse. Games were going on at the Big House and never go. This was the first game. Yes, Texas beat us pretty badly, and it wasn't the greatest of games to go to the Big House. It's my fault, everyone. I won't go to another game. We'll be fine. But we tailgated in two places. So one of our friends has a house that's really close, so just opposite the street of where I had my house for a while. We went and spent a few, maybe 20, 30 minutes there. And then we went to the golf course. And that was full-on tailgating. I mean, that is everything in the brother. So for me, it's like the people who don't have tickets go tailgating. But it's not true because the majority of those folks went in. These people have been doing it for years. I mentioned my wife in the Lions game. I'm going to show a picture of the last time. I don't know how many tailgates it's been, but it's a ridiculous number. They put up a poster every year, a little sign that says how many they've done, and they've never missed one. COVID included, all of the things. There might not be as many people some years or not, but it's a get-together. It's like that Thanksgiving kind of, we're going to get together. It's cold. You don't get to go to the parade, which is really all I want to do when I go into Detroit. You kind of watch the pregame stuff. And then we only have 4 tickets, I think, for at least 30 people that are tailgating. And those 4 people are usually already picked who's going in. And then you go in and watch the Lions lose.
So for somebody who's not familiar with tailgating as a whole, because I am not, and I'm assuming there are people who are listeners who are not either. When I hear tailgating, here's what I picture. I picture a pickup truck with a tailgate.
Nope.
Right? And the tailgate goes down, and you're letting out foods, and you're sort of around a car,
That's the
and
novice
you're drinking,
tailgater.
and right. So the idea of
Entry
having
level.
tailgating in a house feels like already blows my mind.
Technically, tailgating is not supposed to be in the house. It's supposed to be done close to the game.
Oh, we were in
where-
the Eastern Market. That's where we are. But there's a tent. There's multiple tents. We bring games. They have set up station. We are not going anywhere.
Right. And when you talk about the golf course being all sort of tailgating, that's lots of individual tents, lots of groups of
Yep.
And I would say
communities
much
who
more
are all
tents
there.
now. Yes, there's
Right.
trucks with their tails down, but it's just what you use to bring it. We're not hanging out. Now, there are the I love the Brits explaining this. There is the novice tailgater who's clearly only been there 2 or 3 years, maybe 10 years. But then there's the pros who've been there for 20, 30 years, and they come with everything in their brother. I mentioned it off mic, but like people are deep frying turkey. I mean, they've come ready to not leave. They are going to be there for a long time.
And they're there for a few hours before the game, during the game, and after the game.
So
Some people just tailgate through the whole thing.
yeah. So I feel like there's the pre-tailgate, which is the masses.
Right.
Mhm.
Then there's the crowd that goes in, and then there's the folks that don't have tickets, and you stay out. And this would be the Lions one for me. And those folks stay. And that's where the wreaths of, especially for the Thanksgiving one, the wreaths are for sale, the Christmas trees are for sale. But then, like, it's the people watching I enjoy.
Yeah.
So I'll take my kids and we'll walk Eastern Market all the way around. And, like, there are families that have been there forever and a day. I mean, they are in the same spot. They've never moved. Have you ever heard of such a thing called a tub gator?
No.
Ooh, the pleasures you're going to have when you leave this podcast and Google the Lions tub gators. It is the back of a truck that has a hot tub in it, and they tub gate it. Every year, me and my son, my oldest, we walk until we find the tub gators. Come rain, snow, sleet, or wind, they are the post office of the Lions games. They turn up and they will hot tub at a tailgate.
That sounds kind
Yeah.
of amazing.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
So what's the duration of this? Like if you're
5 hours, 6 hours, and then
the
there's
ga-
2
the
hours.
game itself is like
Zsofia,
about
what have
four,
you got?
right,
You've
it's about
got it.
4 hours, right?
I'm going to reveal that I used to be a huge tailgater.
Really? I love this.
Stays in here, right?
Yes. So you said your husband played
Yeah.
Michigan, right?
Yeah, that was 10 years ago. I was 24 years old, okay? I came out of college, Eastern Michigan. He went to U of M. He was in the team for like 2 years maybe. And then he said he was done. He went back studying. But one of our very first day was to the Michigan game. And
Where did you tailgate?
his uncle used to do tailgates very near to the stadium.
Was it the Pioneer, the school, or?
No, it was the other side of
Oh, okay.
Pioneer. You
Yeah,
know
yeah,
where the
yeah.
basketball stadium is.
Yep.
Yeah, his uncle Paul, he used to do tailgates for the games and everything. All like tents.
How many folks?
And we had about 40 people.
Yeah, there you go.
Like family and couches out there.
Couches.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's like football swing. Oh,
yeah. Oh yeah.
pictures I've got of the last game, the first game I went to at the big house. It's nuts.
Yeah.
People are setting up
Yeah.
for the day.
And we were out there like 6 in the morning until I don't want to reveal how long, but like a Hungarian wedding kind of thing.
What was the food they served?
I mean, with the chili, but Chef Bob was doing the other weekend was it the braised chili kind of thing?
It was buffalo chili.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
that kind of
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tacos because I love tacos. Cheesy potatoes, hot
Mm.
dogs.
Okay.
A bunch of games like cornhole, giant.
Do you ever play
Jenga.
washers?
What?
Washers?
No, I don't know that one.
Washers?
Washes? I have no
Washers.
idea.
Washers.
No.
WASH.
Are you? Is it like you're throwing?
I'm more American than the three people in this room.
I'm not.
I've never heard of this game.
No, it's a
What
real
is
thing.
this?
Look up washers. It's like
How do you spell
the-
that?
As in, like washing, like washers.
Okay, like the washing
Yeah,
machine.
yeah.
Like
So
right.
it's 3 washer rings, and it's like cornhole, but it's smaller, and you toss metal washers to this box.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Oh, you played it?
Yes.
Yeah, washers.
Yes,
My
yes.
next,
But they're not.
my
They're not.
neighbor on
They're
my
not
street-
frisbees.
No. They're
No,
like
no,
metal,
they're
little
smaller,
tiny
like
ones.
this.
Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. It's a more transportable version of cornhole within reason. Like it's not
Okay.
a sack; it's a
Right.
metal disc. Yeah, it exists. Look at me.
Huh?
I became American there. Yeah, we play washers. So no tailgate.
None.
Any like heavy tailgate, Marcy?
No. So when I went to Michigan State, and so when we
There's a lot of Joni's family. They're
yeah,
very happy.
So
you
when
said
we
that.
talk about couches, like
You
there's
set them on fire? Is that what
well, I didn't personally. However, there some of my people I went to school with apparently,
That's a
like who I
thing.
didn't know personally, like to light couches on fire, and then And back when I was going to college, there was that whole zero tolerance law too, where underage drinkers, it was a big deal. So they did shut down tailgating for a while, like for a
Well,
couple
this is
years.
the
Well,
first Michigan game. This year is the first time alcohol is being sold at the big house.
yeah, but I do remember when I first attended Michigan State my freshman year, my dorm roommate getting up religiously at the crack of dawn to go tailgate, and I just didn't want to get out of bed.
You got to get your spot. No, well, so that's
Oh, you have to get your spot,
so
right? Yeah.
So Joni's family at the Lions game, they get there so early, and there's usually only two people that go stupid early, but they have to go to get their spot that they've always had. And
You
this
pay
year,
for your spot. Do you? It's like their rent or
I
like
don't
like
know.
You have your
parking
spot.
fee.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know at Eastern Market because maybe,
Right. Yeah.
but 100%. They've had the same spot for years and years, and they lost it one year, and then we had to move, and that was weird,
Yeah.
weird. Because you want to be close to the bathrooms that are available at Eastern Market, you do, but you don't want to be too close to those bathrooms, and so you want to pick of the litter. So you want to get there.
Gotcha,
But
right.
they get there stupid early. It's usually, I feel like Uncle Jeff or Mary get there early to hold the spots.
There was just nothing appealing about getting out of bed on a Saturday morning that early, getting out of my warm, cozy bed, to have to go out into the cold just to start drinking at 7 a.m.
Well, like they set up like full-on TVs. Like I'm talking like 60-inch TVs. They'll set up the Wii for the kids.
Mhm.
They'll set up a Nintendo Switch for the kids. We'll have football. We'll have washers. We'll have cornhole. We had mini golf one year. Like it's a thing.
And you're within earshot of the stadium. You can hear
you can
game
walk there.
happening,
Yeah.
Right, but it feels like that's kind of part of the thing that you're like hearing the excitement. No, it's
No.
not.
I mean,
no,
it's
no.
so
You
historically
can hear the game on the 23 TVs that are really
Sure,
close to
right.
me.
historically speaking, the idea was to come to the game. And so, like, your vision of being out of the back of a pickup truck is not that far off because the original tailgating actually was believed to have started at the Battle of Bull Run.
What?
Yeah, where people brought picnics and a carriage to go watch the battle.
Oh, it's a picnic. Now
Yeah,
I could
it's
get
a
Tabitha on board because we've been doing picnics at the farm. Like, Tabitha, we're going to picnic the Lions game.
Right. But then, so speaking of Lions, it did start as a collegiate thing because the first recorded American football game was between Princeton and Rutgers, where people came in their wagons. This was in 1869. And then the Thanksgiving tradition started at Yale Princeton in the 1880s, where wealthy fans were sipping champagne and eating hors d'oeuvres.
That
while
is
sitting
not what
in
happens at a
horse-drawn
tailgate.
coaches. So as you can see, this has evolved, but the idea was always you were going to the sidelines in a vehicle of some sort, whether it was your horse-drawn carriage or your wagon.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right, and it sounds like it's a mixture of community, food, and drinking, and sports ball.
To be clear, there is members of the family that I know tailgate the NASCAR thing as well. So that's also a thing. Because I only really think of it as football, but it's not. Like
Well, I said sports ball.
Yeah.
so
It
right,
crosses into
NASCAR,
NASCAR
right,
as
right.
well, but that's more like the parking lot of NASCAR, and you just like have a home base of stuff. That feels much more like what you just described as the origins of it.
Right. Yeah. I think any kind of like voyeuristic opportunity for a sports team, you can very much,
It's why you need to own a truck.
turn that into
And
an
to-
opportunity. of
Manly men own their truck to go tailgating.
So one of my Michigan friends, as I was telling them about my inexperience with tailgating, said, "Look, if you want to go, you just bring like a 12-pack of beer to any place where there's tailgating, and you say, 'Hey, I brought beer,' and they're like, 'Hey, come
Yes.
on in.'"
Oh no, we've joined other tailgating parties at Eastern Market that has nothing to do with us whatsoever. And we went off one year, me and a couple of Joni's relatives, the guys, and we wandered off. And then we just met some randos and then hung out at their tailgate, which was a lot nicer than our tailgate. Like they clearly spent a lot of money on the food and different things. The
Right.
experience was very elevated.
And what was your contribution? Just your glowing
We brought beer.
personality?
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
beer,
we
right.
brought beer. I
Gotcha.
think we brought the fancy Coors Light in the silver bullet bottles. You know, the can bottles.
So if I brought actually beer that I wanted
Yeah,
to drink,
Coors,
would I be shunned because it's not the fancy Coors
No.
Light? All right, no,
No,
okay.
no, no,
I could bring actually decent beer.
Yeah.
Okay.
like natural light ice
What's
in a
the
case.
what's the I'm thinking the little glass bottle. What is it called?
The Miller High Lifes.
What's the other one though? There's the other one. It's got another name. There's a Miller bottle, but it's
Oh, the ponies. No?
yeah, but there's a variety of it that's only very limited and it's expensive or more
Oh.
expensive. Me and my friend were just drinking it. Okay, it's gonna go. I'm sorry. I will put it in the comments when I remember. I'll Google it in a second. I can't imagine you've never tailgated as a Brit to have done it before or whatever.
I know. Well, some of it is, I think being here in a strange place and not being familiar with the customs.
Are you a big football fan or not?
No,
Not so much at all?
no.
See, not also, but like it's fun.
Yeah.
Like it's not like, ooh, I'm all in, but like going to that University of Michigan game, completely different than going to an NFL game. The Michigan game was so much better. The band,
Oh, right.
I mean, just to watch the band. I mean,
You would
I'm a
think that,
band
like,
geek
right.
and a musician, but like, wow. Like
You would think at Detroit, like they would have professionals as opposed to students. Like I
Yeah.
know the students,
100%.
right,
The big house holds 110,000, and I think the Lions Stadium is like 60. So
Mhm.
the big house is way bigger.
Yeah.
And this was a big game. It was the second game of the season. It was playing against Texas. They've only ever played once before.
It was a historic.
Yeah. And it didn't go so good for Michigan. They won the last game, so good for us. But I'm in. Like I didn't want to be like, because I've never been to one. Not super a Michigan fan, and we've got some Eastern folks in the house. But like I'm in. Like if I can't imagine how much people spend to be there, because the tickets to the seats we were in were at least $300 a seat. I spent at least $150 on food. Parking's $60 to $100 to get anywhere reasonably close to the stadium, which you could walk, and there are buses. There's other ways to do it. You're $1,000 in, right, to go to our game.
Which makes it sound so unbelievable that for like $20 I could show up with a 12-pack.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
that's
people
probably
would just
why
like
it's
let me in, right? I was like, this doesn't make sense. It sounds like Jamie's like setting me up for some sort of like.
I think that the
ridiculous
tailgate
failure.
also is that, yes, the ridiculously early, because you said would never do the ridiculously early, but if you don't do that, you don't find parking. And so it's like it's the evilness of Thanksgiving shopping.
Yeah.
They've just got earlier and earlier and earlier and earlier, so you guaranteed you were going to land somewhere into that.
Yeah, it's just so competitive, and so I feel like that's where it just becomes this act of throwing money into a down a hole
Yep.
in order to compete with your neighbor in the tent next door.
Yeah.
So
No, there is tent envy. There is
Yeah.
tailgate envy for sure. The bigger screen you can bring next year, the more ridiculous thing. I mean, how did the tub gators get created? It was not what they're like. I'm gonna one up you. We're doing hot tub. What? I've seen it in the snow. The tub gators being out there. Good people, whoever you are, come on this podcast and we will talk about your joy.
I would love to hot tub in the snow. Right? I think that sounds much more fun than like drinking beer outside.
You can do it up at Boyne if you go skiing up there.
Okay.
There's resorts where you.
Hello,
can
we've gone to
outside.
skiing from tailgate.
I just wanted to throw that out there.
Conversation.
Yeah. But so what are we spending our money on besides portable grills and TVs and Wii for the kids? Like where is that money going? Obviously it's to the food, which, tailgating to me, I guess, yeah, I always thought about cheap beer, hot dogs.
But it's the name of
hamburgers,
this is
but-
the Heartland Hot Dish kind
Right.
of. It's the you bring your speciality, like Aunt
Right.
Gerald, Uncle Gerald and his aunt bring this special, and it's their thing. It's my Jello. Somebody's gonna bring a Jello one year.
Yeah,
Did you bring Jell-O?
taco
What brought
casserole.
We used to bring for when I was at the Roadhouse. Every year, I had to bring mac and cheese, fried chicken, and greens.
Yeah.
And I had to bring them. When I left the Roadhouse, everyone was quite upset. I mean, I could still have brought it, but it was much easier when I worked there to get that. But like, you bring your thing, and everyone brings their thing. So they've got their special potato salad, they've got their corn, they've got their chili. That's where chili becomes a big part of that game.
Yeah.
There's always hot dogs in there. Then you got some kids crowd pleaser stuff. The cold stores are in there. It is interesting. And then somebody's always deep frying a turkey somewhere. And it's happening, right? Because that's the Thanksgiving game. I get it. But you're deep frying a whole turkey at a tailgate at like 7 in the morning
I feel like that's actually the best place to deep fry a turkey.
It's a lot safer, I guess. Yeah.
Where there's hundreds of people standing around. It
There's
could potentially
police and
blow up.
fire at a moment's notice.
Right. Right. The downside of the deep fried turkey is the intense fire danger of it.
It's a really. There are people I know who I respect who are never going to do anything else. They are all in.
Their deep fried turkeys are delicious.
Sure, you put fat in the turkey while you're cooking it.
Yeah, it's
You've
right.
brined it with oil.
Have you guys ever seen Alton Brown's Thanksgiving episode where he deep fries a turkey? He's got a whole pulley system.
Oh,
Where
really?
he's standing like 10 feet away. You guys should watch it because I actually want to deep fry a turkey someday and I want to use
I've never done it, and I equally would like to experience it.
But it leads to the construction of like this wonderful engineered
Roadhouse
thing.
could put in like a deep fried turkey station.
Yeah, there you go.
That could be fun. I'm
There
going to
you go.
talk to Bob. I'm going to make
Okay.
it happen.
All right.
Right, and they're not hard to do. You just need to make
You
sure.
had it?
I had a buddy who would deep fry turkeys.
You loved it?
Loved it. It's amazing. Right. Yeah.
Deep fried turkey, Zsofia? Nope. That's a hard no. That's a definite no.
Yeah. And when the turkey was served cooling off, he would throw in some.
I've
hush
never
pup-
eaten it. I've only ever heard like incredible praise for this thing.
Yeah. Then he would throw in some hush puppies right into the because you got the oil. You might as well
Yeah.
He
like,
doesn't
Might
want the
as
hush
well.
puppies in
fry,
there.
fry some more things. Right.
That's where corn dogs and start playing the whole game.
Yeah. No. Right. 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 If people are drinking, right, that's somebody who you might not want to
Yeah.
trust to
There's
deep
quite
fry a
bit of
turkey.
drinking in that game.
Right, but if they've done this before, I think the biggest part is the routinization of it. The more you've done it, the better you get at it. The pitfalls. It's the people who are drunk and have no idea what they're doing, and they just fill up their cauldron with oil, and then they forget that the turkey's going to displace some of that oil.
I just
That's what. Well, I don't know if you've ever seen any of the spectacular fails. of turkey, but
frozen
that's what-
turkey juices get in
Oh,
there at the start.
But-
Instant bomb.
Right, but I think the worst ones are when the oil level is too high. You put the turkey in, the oil
Yes.
goes over, and the entire
Have you
thing
ever
turns.
gotten in a bath? Because this
Right,
isn't gonna go
yes.
well, guys.
No, bad, right? Or people who start because you see it coming. You're lowering the turkey in slowly, right? You see that the level of the oil is rising, and that's when you stop. You say, "Okay, no, right? We messed this up. We're going to go back and try this again." But they commit.
So one of the fun things at the Texas game was Matthew McConaughey. I'm saying his name right.
Yes.
Great, good for me. He's a huge tailgater.
I can
He's-
see that.
He's always been a tailgater. Like that's like his big thing.
Well, I figure if you're Matthew McConaughey, you can walk into any
It's
place.
gonna be a pretty sweet tailgate
right.
too.
Well, you could just walk into anyone's, right? You just go, right? Like me.
I think that like it is some keeping up with the Joneses from 10 to 10, but then it is like the best of the best you're bringing, and it's coming. It's such a good like combination. Again, you can tailgate now for games now. My most experience is the Thanksgiving one. It's where you're bringing your food, your favorites, your what that is, and I think that the ability of sharing that is what the Heartland Hot Dish is. It's bringing but it just happens to be at 8 in the morning.
So what are the best things that you've had that you didn't make that you saw at a tailgate and or that you got to try at a tailgate and you're like, oh my god, this was amazing.
Street corn.
So-
God, I love street corn.
So one of my favorites, and this is interesting because there is a little history behind this too, because the Atlanta Braves, like part of their tailgating history is a certain brand of pimento cheese called palmetto cheese.
Oh.
So yeah, that goes way back. But I do love me some pimento cheese and crackers in general, and we serve like this football-shaped pimento cheese option at the Roadhouse if you want to take it tailgating. And I just think like I think it takes me back. I love pimento cheese anyway. I know it's more of a southern thing to kind of like in general like the cheese log like around the holidays, and it's something that we did often serve like before a Thanksgiving meal or a holiday meal. So something that's spreadable.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think like the things I've always seen have been that I've been like, damn, has been chili and barbecues. Like
Yeah.
barbecue meats. Again, you got your uncle who's drunk as a skunk by 9 o'clock because they've been there since 4. And they didn't just get their spot; they've been cooking since 4.
Since
and
4,
it's,
right, yeah.
It's rocking. So I feel like it takes its barbecue to a really good place, and some very good chilies. Maybe not classical because they've got their beans in there, but I do enjoy a good chili. Again, not something back home. Chili in the UK or Europe, definitely not something. And one of those I've absolutely adored of experiencing over here that I wish would go back. Because I think you hear of chili back home, but it's a different kind of experience. It's a very generic. I would even say like a Wendy's chili, kind of whitewashed, nothing else. So the chilies have been really good. And then there's always that cream biscuity dessert thing. It doesn't have a name. Someone's made it for years in the family, and it's so good.
The vanilla wafer one?
Yeah, it's got some version.
Like
It
the
doesn't have a name.
Banana pudding vanilla wafer.
I don't know. It's got banana pudding in, but it's got some kind of box pudding in it and biscuits, and it's just the biscuits they've clearly made it that morning, so they're still crispy. It hasn't got too wet and.
So right, I think you're thinking of the vanilla wafer
Okay.
dessert.
Yeah.
Yeah, you serve it kind of like
It
a
doesn't have a
casserole.
name.
Yeah,
And I think a lot of the things that I've eaten don't have names.
Is there whipped cream on top of it?
Oh,
So
yeah.
putting on the bottom.
And it's got some
cookies
kind
in
of
the
crumbly
middle, and then-
oatmeal-y cookie on the top.
Right, and then and then whipped cream on top.
I'll take a picture for you
Okay,
next one.
yeah.
Pictures
No, right.
pictures added to this podcast come around in Thanksgiving time or Zsofia, what about you? You clearly have a whole bunch. What you got favorite foods?
I love potatoes. I'm the
Potato salads?
queen in the family, but cheesy potatoes, and chili, which is also not that big in Hungary. So I agree on that one.
Yep.
It's not really a thing, but here it's good.
you know what goes really good with chili, Sophie?
Yeah.
Sour cream.
Right, and potatoes, right? That's right.
Potatoes, yeah.
Right.
But
Yeah.
the one thing that I absolutely love, and I know it's really, really, really weird, but ginger cookies,
Oh, nice.
putting some brown sugar on top and caramel.
Mmm.
'Cause I absolutely love
Oh.
caramel.
Caramel everything.
Yeah, and I mix caramel with pumpkin spice as well.
I will say, like,
Ah.
I also
Well, with the ginger cookie, I feel like that makes sense. It actually makes sense.
I do think like Tailgate's the only place where I tend to have overcooked hot dogs, which I quite enjoy. Like
You
when
like-
they
you like
when their
overcooked hot
skin
dogs.
has somewhat separated, and it's not burnt.
Okay.
That's different.
Right.
But it's clearly gone too long. The fake skin has separated from the cheapy hot dog, and it's got that very dark brown color. That with sweet relish, I always love. And the sweet relish, again, sweet, not
Right,
not
sure,
fatty
right,
person
right.
in that world. Do love that. It's probably the only place I have a hot dog with sweet relish on a bun. Like
Right, this might
no
be
part
too-
in my rest of my
Is
year.
it the neon green?
Oh, yeah,
relish?
yeah.
So like the stuff you find.
Yeah,
in
and the
Chicago
squeezy
then.
bubble, and it's yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
No time in the rest of my
right.
year do I eat it, but then, and I do enjoy it. I do enjoy
This
it.
may be too personal of a question, but how many of those do you eat?
3.
Oh,
at
dear
least.
God.
Yeah,
At least
well, 3 of those.
no,
Then there's some chili. There's some cookies.
Are there
Um,
chili dogs?
No, I
No.
don't think so. We own. There is chili and there is hot dogs, but we do not combine at those tailgates.
Right. And nobody's making the chili there on site. They're bringing their chili.
No,
in
everything
because-
comes in a crock pot from the 1960s that
Right. Right.
should be a fire hazard all by itself.
Right. So how? Right.
They've got generators. We've got.
Yeah,
pow-
it's like you're reading my mind.
We
That's
definitely
right,
have
right.
some pole power, but there's
Gotcha.
not enough of that. And
Interesting.
so then we have generators.
Right.
Or there is a truck that's constantly on producing dangerous gases near everything. It's
Right.
not a safe
Right.
environment.
Right. Yeah. No. How much exhaust is
A
there?
lot.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
oh, that's interesting.
There's a lot of
Right.
like souped up cars. There's people being stupid in their trucks in that experience as well.
Yeah.
Right,
I've
yeah.
loved that.
Yeah.
All right.
During doing burnouts.
Marcy, what about you? Favorite foods?
So I did mention the pimento cheese. I am a huge chili fan, and it is something that I just grew up with because my dad would make it every winter.
Yeah.
It was traditional for us, and then he would freeze it. You know how like every Michigan home has that deep freezer downstairs. Ours was vertical. And
Ooh, fancy.
yeah. I remember he would fill it with jars of his homemade chili. So, yeah. And then I'm always just like, again, a classic fan when it comes to hot dogs, you know, just kind of like the all American. But when it comes to gatherings and food, I know I said I've never tailgated, but I do like a good food gathering where people bring
And it-
dishes.
that
and
is
pass
it.
them
That is
around.
what it is. To be
So-
clear, it's more than the football. There's so few people are watching. The football is a background noise.
It's a background noise. It's a place to gather, hang out, socialize, and eat. And as a foodie, I will generally eat a lot of what you put in front of me. And you know, this is kind of apt because of the title of our podcast, but tailgating is an experience for the hot dish.
Yes.
Yeah,
No, it's
very much a casserole type of party.
you would have those tater tots on the top of that dish, and you'd be a happy little person. I don't think I've ever seen it. Maybe I should make that and bring that with us to this.
Yeah.
So
Right.
the two of you never.
Never. The closest
Would
thing that
you
I think
like to?
the closest thing I can imagine, right, is that the only football that I watch is the Super Bowl. I do it every year religiously, and
Nice.
and that's when I serve you beer and sports and the sort of kind of
I'm
food.
all
and-
in American. I'm
right,
going to do
yeah,
this thing.
right. Once a year, and it so wrecks my body that I feel like I every year that I do this, I'm constantly amazed that there are people who do this every week during football
Sure.
season.
No, that's the
Right.
bit I didn't understand about going to the U of M game. I'm like, how do they do this
How
that
do they-
often?
right. No, it just destroys, right.
Financially, emotionally, physically, the amount
physically,
of
right.
booze that is consumed in that one day is disturbing.
And as much as I enjoy that in the moment, the next day I always like, why
Yeah.
do I do this? And so I think if I were gonna go, right, the thing that I always sort of try to make as part of my my football tradition is some sort of buffalo sauce, blue cheese, something. Right,
Ooh.
so
I don't
maybe
think that
like
ever makes it to the tailgates I've been to.
No, right, because we're in the Midwest and this is an upstate New York thing. So I still have to sort of figure out, where I am and how to make that transition.
Cool.
Yeah.
But I think what I may do is I may dip my toe because there's a game tomorrow.
You
I
you
believe
get
there's
down
a
there.
I believe there's a game tomorrow,
You
so
should
maybe
go.
I'll just explore.
Do
some-
I'll
do
just
some
do
field
some people
research.
do some
If you
people
do,
watching.
I know somebody's house that you could turn up at and be welcomed
Okay.
because you want a base. You can't just wander too much. But like it's
Uh,
you walk through the golf course. It is.
I'm a very good wanderer.
It'll make your brain hurt though. Like, would you like to? Like, I'm not like Marcy and Daniel. Would you want to go to a Thanksgiving tailgate?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I give you a
right.
wild open. So this
Right.
would be the other thing I'd say about the tailgate experiences. Joni's family,
Mhm.
30, 40 people go to it every year. It's pretty standard. They love when you bring people.
Oh.
Like, doesn't even like not. Oh, this is my significant other, potential
Right, right.
significant other. No. Just
Here's
bring
some
more
guy I just met.
Right.
Right.
No, it is very welcoming, and the
Right.
booze must be part of it. But I don't know. Like, the more the merrier is
Yeah.
definitely the feel
Part-
of what
it's
that piece
part
is.
of the thing, right? That's right. Right, and maybe some of the maybe this is part of the Midwestern thing, and just a part that I'm have yet to actually experience.
I'm glad I did it. I
Yeah.
really get upset that I don't get to take the kids to parade. 'Cause we've gone past that point in their ages, or at least I think, because the parade was fun. I remember
Yeah.
going with
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
sister before I had kids and experiencing. So having
Well, this has been inspiring.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
so,
yeah.
so we can reconnect afterwards about the Thanksgiving thing.
Marcy's got something. She's in. What you got, Marcy?
I will go if there's buffalo hot wings with blue cheese.
Oh, then Daniel has to come.
What about buffalo dip? How about without the wings? Just
Oh, yeah.
all the
We could go to
flavors.
sidetrack.
easier to
what is
eat.
it? A side biscuit. And get
Side biscuit.
Side biscuit.
Side
Yeah.
biscuit. But wings don't travel.
Well, no.
That's
We've got got some guy deep frying
Oh,
some
dear-
turkey
oh,
somewhere. We can
dear
just drop
God.
some of those suckers in there. We're good to go.
We'll talk later.
Well, this is maybe one of our quicker podcasts, and we're probably going to come back to this in the sense of like that American tradition. Any last burnings for any part of the tailgate or the tailgate experience of what you missed? Zsofia?
I just wanted to add to Daniel that, generally speaking, it doesn't have to be about drinking, because now I have a daughter that's turning 5 in a couple of weeks, and it's more like we go to like a friend's house and we just all, take the dish, like whatever we make, and it's the experience. It's us coming together as the family, friends, kids running around and having fun. It's
Who do you support?
what do you mean?
Which team do you support?
Of course, Michigan.
Okay, I'm just checking. I'm just double checking. It's possible we might go the other way. Some good fight in that
There
world.
would be a lot of trouble if we went the other way.
Joni's family is a family divided as far as college.
Yeah.
It's Eastern or it's U of M,
Yeah.
and it's mostly Eastern. It's
Yeah, and part of it is that I don't trust myself around buffets. It gets ugly. I get ugly, but that's a personal problem, and I need to work on it.
I
Marcy?
generally just kind of hover by the buffet.
Oh, I stay by the food. Food is my safe place. I'm gonna stay there because I don't know. I can't talk sports too much, so I can talk about the food and be here and be in that safe place.
Yeah.
Marcy, any burners?
I don't think so. I am curious about the Thanksgiving tailgate, and I would say maybe it needs to be on my bucket list.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be this year. I would
Yeah.
so take Zsofia included. To experience
just gonna
Joni's
end up
family
in
in
a hot
full
tub.
form is quite the thing. of
Okay.
Where it is.
All right.
Daniel, any burners from you?
I think I got mine all covered.
All right. I guess the thing I'd leave you with wanting to is if you're listening to this and you haven't tailgated, because again, shocked, surprised, is you should go do it. It's a pretty good thing. The early morning is that god awful experience of getting up and dragging your butt out of bed at like 5 a.m. But there is also by noon you could leave, right? They've gone into the game. You get the rest of the day and you're up and you're sourced and good to go.
Ready to
You
go
are
back to
ready
bed.
to enjoy it, even if it's not the Thanksgiving. I felt that way when we went to the game, the University of Michigan game. It was a really good experience because you had started so early and you're ready. And there are night games too, but like if you get that morning one, there's something like it hasn't stolen your day away. You've had a lot of fun, and I don't feel like I've had the same heavy feeling of leaving those tailgates. I feel happy and joyous. And there aren't family arguments in the same way. And we talked about it when we talked a little bit about the pumpkin cider stuff back in that podcast. But for me, I can't think of arguments that really happen. As long as you stay till people go into the game, you're allowed to leave at that point.
Right,
You got to kind of stay till then, and that's it. All right, my lovelies, thank you so much. We'll be speaking to you all real soon. Thank you so much, my lovelies, for tuning in and listening to today's episode of the Heartland Hot Dish podcast. Hit that like button, subscribe, and leave us a review. Your feedback helps us grow and reach more listeners just like you. Until next time, keep savoring the flavors of the Heartland and sharing the love for this vibrant community. Take care and stay connected.